Talk Show with your host. It is me, Joyce Williams, and I want to say thank you so much to everybody who has tuned in. Thank you for liking the page. Thank you for subscribing to my talk show on YouTube, The Invisible Woman Talk Show. I thank you so much for all the love and all the support and everything that you guys have done. I was talking to a friend, and it's a guy friend, but he gets advice from me, I get advice from him, it just works. And so he told me that he stopped talking to a young lady because she was coming on too strong. He said that he liked her, but she was clingy. He said she was clingy, she was needy. It was just too much. It was too much. And he went on to give me some examples of things that she was doing. And I totally agree. I agree with him that she was a bit excessive. And which brings me to, how do you know if you're too clingy? How do you know if you're too clingy? And what can you do if you are too clingy? Because a lot of times people won't even tell you, just like he didn't. He didn't even tell her, he just stopped talking to her, And I feel like if you like somebody, if you're really feeling them, then why not have a conversation and say, hey, I need a little space. Like, why not have that conversation instead of just, running off? But we're going to talk about tonight just the two of us. Just the two of us. And we're going to be discussing ways that you can tell if you're too clingy or if your partner's too clingy, and also ways that you can, not be so clingy if you find that you fit that description of being a little bit too clingy. Okay? So we're talking about just the two of us. You are in for an amazing episode. I know I say that every week, and I mean it. It'd be amazing to me if it's not amazing to you, but it's amazing to you too. But thank you again, and go grab your girlfriends, grab your snacks, grab whatever it is that you need. Hurry back. You don't want to miss a minute of this show. You know why? Because this show is your show, The Invisible Woman Talk Show. Stay tuned. We'll be right back with more Invisible Woman right after this very short break. So stay tuned. Don't be so clingy. I'll be right back, y'all.
5, 6, 8. Y'all need to hype me up.
Do that thing with your eyes.
Money, look.
Welcome back to tonight's episode of The Invisible Woman. We are talking about just the two of us and trying to figure out, are you too clingy? Is your partner too clingy? And what you can do to not be so clingy if you are. What is clingy behavior? So clingy behavior could be when you are constantly, going through your partner's social media. I'm talking about fine-tooth combing their social media. Oh, this person liked it, let me see who this is. And you're on their page, and oh, this person commented, let me see who this is. So, you turn into PI, stalkerish kind of thing with their social media. That's one of the signs of being clingy. When you are constantly texting your partner, and I'm talking about like just consistently, if you're not texting, you're calling. If you're not calling, you're texting. You're emailing, you're sending a dove. It's just, you're doing too much. And they're always in communication with you. So they don't even have a minute to do their jobs. They could be at work and you're just calling them. You're texting them. And then you're upset because they didn't respond to you immediately. When you're constantly putting yourself into the relationship, I'm talking about to the point where it's just like, it's just the two of you. Nobody else can get in. And you're smothering them. That's unhealthy for the relationship, and that's unhealthy for you. You want to make sure that you have your own life, that you have your own thing going on to where you can give your partner that needed space. We all need some space. We all need some time away from each other. It builds character. It makes us stronger. It makes relationships stronger. But if you're always in their face, in the way, just always around, it's too much. It's too much. And you know when it's too much. You know when I mean, they'll get to the point where it's like, I can't breathe for her. I can't breathe for him. They're doing too much. When you look only to other people, first of all, let me tell you. First of all, clingy is a sign of insecurity. It is point blank, period. There's no other way to put it. You're insecure. And it's not a good look. And it's really, and I know that it comes from, a feeling of abandonment, a feeling of not getting that love and attention that you needed. And so now that you have somebody that's showing you that attention, you want it all the time. You need that validation. You need to constantly hear them say, I love you, I'm thinking about you. You need to constantly be around them. It's almost like a drug, and they're your drug. So you don't want to be so codependent on somebody to where you don't have your own life. You need your own life. Do you hear me? It's okay to be your own person. It's okay to let your partner have a life outside of you. You don't want to put your happiness in the hands of somebody else. You don't want to feel like, okay, well, I mean, how much control are you giving them over your life to where like you're not happy when they're not around? You don't even know what to do with yourself. Do something. Join a book club. Knit. I don't know. Just do something outside of just spending time with your partner. And I'm not telling you not to spend time with your partner, but I'm talking about like excessive time to where like you're upset when they are trying to do something without you. Oh, well, I'm going to go catch a game or go to the movies with my friend. They had friends before you. They had family before you. They knew people before you. So they're not supposed to cut off any and everybody just because you two are together now. That's not how this should be. You guys should have enough trust. If there's trust, then you guys should implement that trust to allow them to go ahead on and do other things without you. And then you do other things without them. And then you guys come together and have a healthy and happy relationship. But if you're constantly around each other, you're going to get to a place where you're smothering and somebody's going to feel fed up. Somebody's going to feel like it's too much. Somebody's going to feel like you are suffocating them, So, yeah, it's definitely need space and time to do your own thing and be your own person. We'll be right back with more Invisible Woman right after this short break. We are talking about just the two of us.
Want to catch up on the old episodes of the Invisible Woman Talk Show? Check me out on YouTube, The Invisible Woman Talk Show. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.
Welcome back to tonight's episode of The Invisible Woman. We are talking about just the two of us and how to tell if you're too clingy, or even how to tell if your partner is too clingy and what you can do to not be so attached. If they always expect you to text back immediately. Now, I just talked about this, about like when you text them, and I'm talking about, oh my gosh, it's been 5 seconds. And no response. You expect them to have that phone attached to their hands and quick on the draw and text you back immediately. Just say that an hour has gone by and they haven't replied to you. You in your feelings, you are not happy, you are going down the path of, you know where you're going. You're going down the path of, I wonder if they're, you don't want to do that. It's been an hour. Relax. Give them a second. They might not have their phone attached to them at this time. They might actually be working. Heaven forbid they have a job and that they're actually doing. But my point is, don't go over the top because it's been a little time since they text you. Don't expect them to text back immediately all the time. Here's the kicker. The kicker is when they don't text back immediately. Now here come the phone calls. The phone calls. You call them 1, 2, 3, 4 back-to-back stalker kind of type behavior. You are blowing up their phone and they could be asleep. They could be studying. They could be working. They can be doing, I don't know, just whatever. But the point is, you're blowing up their phone now because they didn't respond to your text right away. And so now you're upset and you're putting your bad thoughts ahead of the person that you should know, love, and trust. Now, another way to tell if you or that person is too clingy is following somebody. I mean, I'm not talking about social media following, like I want you guys to follow me, but I'm talking about like you can't let them go out and do their own thing. You just say, for instance, you do let them go out and you're gonna know where they're going, who they're gonna be with, and you somewhere out in the bushes, girl, no, that's too much. You're doing too much. Don't be stalkering. Don't be stalkerish. Let them. Don't follow them. Don't follow them because if a person is going to be unfaithful, they're going to be unfaithful. Either way, like they're going to find a way to do it. So don't be wasting your time. Don't be wasting your gas, and don't be wasting your energy on stalking somebody, following them. That's a little too much. If you, like I said, if you feel the need to show up where they are and follow them, that's no trust, and that's not a good relationship. That's not a good thing to do. Like, just say for instance, if you guys kind of like, they're like, oh well, after the movie, I'll be outside waiting on you, or I'll be there to pick you up or whatever. Now that's something different. That's okay. Oh, thank you, appreciate it. But uninvited, unintentional, you just show up at the movies where they are. You just show up at the mall where they are. You just show up at their mama's house. Nah, that's not cute. That's, like I said, you're doing too much. Don't be a stalker. If they stalk you on social media, and there is nothing like a woman who stalks somebody on social media, because we find out everything. Like I told you, we start going through likes, we start going through comments, we start going through everything, and we put 1 plus 1 together and equals 6. And it just don't be right. But don't do that. Don't do that. Do not go into a rabbit hole stalking their social media. Don't do that. Like I told you, clinginess manifests insecurity. And you really don't want to seem insecure. Confidence is key. People like confident people. You want to date somebody that's confident. You don't want to date somebody that is so timid and so insecure that you have to spend all your time reassuring them. You're beautiful. I love you. You're tall. You're dark. You're handsome. Whatever. You don't want to be in a situation like that because that gets to be too much. You want somebody, but you don't want anybody that's overly confident where they just kind of like, look at me, look at you, you lucky to be with me kind of thing. No, but you don't want anybody, like I said, that's different. You don't want anybody that you're constantly having to boost their ego, boost their self-esteem. They're insecure. You talk to the cashier and it's, oh, you're flirting with the cashier. You smile at the mailman and, oh, you want him. It's just, no, that's too much. So you want to be with somebody that is secure, somebody that is, somebody that trusts you. So yeah, we're going to be right back with more Invisible Woman right after this short break. We are talking about just the two of us. And it does seem like it's just the two of us, huh? It's just me, it's you, it's us, it's just the two of us.
Are you enjoying the Invisible Woman Talk Show? Well, don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel. That way you won't miss any of the episodes. Stay up to date. Subscribe to the YouTube channel.
Welcome back to tonight's episode of The Invisible Woman. We are talking about just the two of us and how to tell if you are so clean. I'm talking about that clear plastic wrap clingy. I'm talking about clingy, like no fabric softener clingy. Okay, I'm doing too much. Y'all know me. But okay, so we were talking about ways that you can tell if you or your partner is too clingy. Another way is if they lose their own interest and all of your interests are their interest. Like, oh, I like to play dominoes. I like to play dominoes too. Don't even know how to play dominoes, but now all of a sudden, I like to skate. I like to skate too. Don't even know how to skate. You over there breaking your neck trying to do everything that they do. Stop it. Like, and I don't understand, like, just having things in common with that person. Like, oh, I like my eggs scrambled. I like my eggs scrambled. You know, that's something you have in common. But to start doing everything that they do just because they do it, you know, no, don't do that. Have, like I said, continue to be your own person. Continue to be an individual. Where you guys can have, like I said, have your time together, have your time apart, and have separate lives. It's okay to like different things. Another thing to be careful of is if they're moving too fast. And I'm talking full speed ahead, love bombing, I love you, girl, I want to be with you and only you. And you're over here like, we just been knowing each other for 2 hours. That's not good. You know what? It's cool to, like, you know, imagine having a future with somebody and you daydreaming about them and, you know, that future. But to be like 30 minutes in and you're like, I'm gonna spend the rest of my life with you. Yeah, that's a bit much, and that can be a bit too much, too soon, too fast. Don't be clingy. Being too clingy in a relationship is not good at all. Um, it occurs when you feel abandoned and unloved, and it mostly stems from childhood. You know, when you had a lack of relationship with one or with both of your parents. It can also stem from like previous relationships where you felt like you weren't prioritized. So it just, like I said, it's a feeling of abandonment. And now that you've met somebody that you really like, you want to hold on to them. And sometimes you hold on a little too tight to where it's like you're smothering and you're overbearing, and that's not good. You don't want to be like that. You don't want to be so fearful that you have that fear of losing them that you lose them. But you definitely don't want to rush into something to where now don't rush. Just take your time. And I know it seems it's I know it's easier said than done because you're so happy that you found somebody that you connected with. But the last thing that you want to do, you don't want to get yourself entangled with somebody that you thought you knew, but you don't really know them because you move too fast. You understand? So it's like you're moving so fast that you didn't even take the time to really get to know them. And so now you're getting to know them and you're like, wait a minute, I don't recognize this person. No, you don't recognize that person because you didn't take the time to get to know that real person. You can't know somebody in a day or in an hour, and you know, it takes time. It takes time. So take your time. Take your time. We're going to be right back with more Invisible Woman right after this short break. We're talking about just the two of us. Stay tuned.
Don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel, The Invisible Woman Talk Show, because this show is your show, The Invisible Woman Talk Show.
Welcome back to tonight's episode of The Invisible Woman. We are talking about, you know it, just the two of us. And we're talking about how to tell if you or your partner is too clingy in the relationship. When you are too clingy in a relationship, that's a sign that you need to work on yourself. That's a sign that maybe you're not ready for a relationship. Maybe you need to take some time. Remember, I'm always talking about healing your heart, healing your mind, healing yourself before you move on to somebody else. Because what happens is that, like I said, you're suffering from that feeling of abandonment. You're suffering from that feeling of not being loved. And now you're pushing that off into a new relationship. So now you're calling them, you're texting them, you're constantly in contact with them, and you are bombarding them with all this attention. And it's like, You're doing too much. You're doing too much. And in most cases, the person, like my friend, they won't even tell you. They're just gonna be out of there. And they're gonna leave you wondering, what did I do wrong? What happened? And you don't even know. But I'm here to tell you, what happened was you were not ready. What happened was you were insecure. What happened was you don't love yourself. You don't love yourself. Because if you did, you would take some time out for yourself. You would do things for yourself. You will continue to be yourself. And you don't want, like I said, you don't want to take on the persona and be an extended version of them. You don't like everything they like. You don't do everything they do. You're your own person. Be your own person. Be authentically you. It's okay to be you. Stop copying and pasting. It's not, be you. I feel like I'm fussing. And I am fussing. I'm fussing because I've seen it way too many times. I've seen it with my friends and I'm always saying, I've even seen it in myself, where you're changing to be likable to somebody. And you don't have to do that. Now, if you got some nasty habits and stuff like that, that's something different. But I'm talking about when you are just really killing off that version of you, killing off you to become a version of them. Don't do that. Let me tell you some ways to be less clingy. Because, I told you about being clingy. I got to give you some tips on how not to be clingy. First and foremost, put the phone down. Step away from the device. I mean, step away from the device. Put it down, because what you're doing is anytime you think about contacting them, you're contacting them. Anytime you stop it, put the phone down. Do something else. When you think about contacting them, go and do something else. Pick up a broom. Pick up some window cleaner. Whatever. Do something else. Call a friend. No, don't call nobody, because you're gonna call them. So no, put the phone down. Just put it down and go and do something else. And I'm talking about something where you can get distracted. Okay? Something that's fun for you to get distracted. Go for a drive. Do something. Don't go for a drive and end up at their house. No. Don't go for a drive and end up at their job. No. But what I'm talking about, something that you can do that is not going to get you to their place, is not going to get you on their phone. Do something else. Distract yourself. Number 2, okay, and there's no particular order, but pursue your own dreams. Pursue your own passions. I know I've said this over and over and over again. You had stuff that you had going on before you met them. Pick it back up. Continue to do those things. Don't let the things that you had going on go dormant because you met somebody. Because now your life becomes all about them. You were out there feeding the needy. You were out there pushing your dream, your goal. You had aspirations that you just gave up on. And then if the relationship doesn't work out, what are you left with? Regret. I remember when I used to, and now you're left with regret. Or I gave up this for you. You didn't have to. You didn't have to. Unless it was unhealthy for the relationship, then no. Continue to be you. Continue to do what you do. Continue to help others. Continue to be an individual. Stop being so jealous. Stop being so jealous. Every girl that says hello is not trying to get with them. Sometimes people are just friendly. I'm friendly. You're friendly. Well, maybe you're friendly, but I definitely am friendly. So everybody that speaks, everybody that smiles, stop being so jealous. It's like, oh, I don't like the way she handed you your coffee. Stop it. It's just too much. I'm telling you, it's too much. Stop being so jealous. Like, let them have a life. Live a little. Oh my gosh. Jealousy is related to abandonment. and rejection. That's what that is. You're showing your abandonment and you're showing your rejection. Do you really want them to see you like that? Do you really want them to see that side of you? It's not cute. Remember I said that sometimes you need some time for yourself to heal? If you're that jealous, you need some time to heal. And I'm not talking about like you're jealous because they've done something to cause that jealousy. I'm talking about jealousy that's just kind of like unwarranted. Like you have no reason to suspect that your partner is stepping out. You have no reason to be jealous, but yet here you are because why? All men are dogs. I know you're a dog because the last one was. No. I know you're up to no good because that's what the last one said. He had to work late and he was over there doing blah, blah, blah. Don't do that. Because just because the last one did that doesn't mean that the current one is doing that because they're two different people. So stop being so jealous. If you don't trust them, don't be with them. Point blank, period. You don't trust them, don't be with them. Because the only thing you're doing is hurting yourself. Now you're sick. Your blood pressure's up. Oh my gosh. Stop it. Stop it. Stop being so jealous. We're going to be right back with more Invisible Woman right after this short break. Stay tuned. We were talking about what? Just the two of us.
Don't just watch, subscribe. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that like button. Share with your friends. Share with your family. The Invisible Woman Talk Show.
Welcome back to tonight's episode of The Invisible Woman. We are talking about just the two of us, and we were talking about ways that you cannot, you can stop being so clingy. Another way you can stop being so clingy is to build your self-esteem. Build your own self-esteem up. Love on yourself. When you don't love yourself, it is not a physical thing, y'all. It's on the inside. And what's on the inside radiates on the outside. So when you don't love yourself, it shows. So build your self-esteem. And once you build up your self-esteem, that will help with the clinginess. That will help with the jealousy, with the insecurities. That will help with the smothering your partner and having to get all that reassurance all the time. They shouldn't have to continually give you validation. Yes, it's nice to get that, good morning, beautiful, but to need it because you don't have it for yourself, that's totally different. That's totally different. And I'm going to say, also, be mindful of that the person that you selected, be mindful of their love language. Their love language could be quality time. And so they need the quality time or they need those words of affirmation. Be you. Be authentically you and love you. Love you. There's so much to love about you. And if you become a version of them, they're just loving themselves. Just saying. It don't make sense. Continue to be you. I do thank you so much for choosing to tune in with me tonight. I know it went so fast, like it always does, because time flies when you're having fun. Listen, before I go, I want to give a shout out to Miss Donna all the way in the Bronx. Y'all, she told me that she watches the show. She told somebody else about the show. And she also told me how beautiful I am. So thank you, Miss Donna. Thank you for watching. Thank you for sharing. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Shout out to you, Miss Donna, for being an Invisible Woman supporter. Thank you again. And you guys are amazing. My viewers are amazing. And you are one of my viewers. You're an amazing woman too. Thank you. Good night.